Good morning, Peter. It's now 11:01. Do you suggest we begin now, or should we give participants additional a few minutes to join in?
Okay. Thank you, Diana, and welcome our participants. Diana, I see we have 14 participants on WebEx and allowed 2 on YouTube. Maybe we can give them 5 minutes, then we can start.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not getting anything. I don't know, due to network problem.
Peter, it's now 11:07. Please let us know whether we can begin the session now, even as we try sorting out the issue with the YouTube link.
Sure. We can go ahead and start, Diana.
Okay. Thank you, Peter, and warm welcome to everyone joining us for today's session. My name is Diana Isokata, and I'll be making sure that we are up and running on both WebEx and YouTube links. Apologies, we are still not up on YouTube, but we are working on it with the technical team. Before we kick off today's session, it's important that we go through some ground rules, and I'll request Sarah if you could move to the instruction slide. So number one, I will request all participants to kindly turn off your cameras so that we keep the bandwidth consumption at a minimum and we have a seamless session. We will only have the presenters switching on their cameras as they make the presentation. Please follow the instruction displayed on your screen to turn off your camera. Secondly, I will request all participants to kindly mute audio. We will use the chat box to engage. Once again, kindly follow the instruction on the screen to switch off audio. And then we will pose questions and share feedback using the chat box. We will be monitoring the chat box to ensure all feedback and questions are addressed by our panel. In case you're experiencing any challenges with audio on WebEx, please click audio, then go to audio connection, then select call using my computer. Finally, today's webinar will be delivered on both WebEx and YouTube, and the session will be recorded. I will now hand over to James Ndwati to open today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Welcome to today's webinar titled Managing Cash Flows in the New Normal. From the Cooperative Bank, we are together with Peter Dumia, and we will start off with a word of prayer. Peter Dumia, can you lead us?
Thank you, James, and welcome all of us in this webinar. Let's bow for a word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, this morning we want to thank you. We want to appreciate your goodness and your mercies. Thank you for this new day that you've given us, and thank you for the bank. Thank you for our customers as we have a session, a discussion around managing our cash flows as business people. We pray, dear Father, that you help us get insights. We pray even for our businesses, even as we go through the COVID era. We pray, dear Father, that you help us know how to navigate through. We invite you in this session, be together with us, and it is in Jesus' name and give thanks. Amen.
Thank you, Peter. Karibuni sana. And I know as we proceed, we will learn a lot. You know, our tendency to do things in the same manner due to past success can be our biggest distractor. Right now, you know, we are in the new normal. We need to challenge old assumptions that were used to develop the current plans so that we can remain competitive in the new normal. Businesses improve their cash flow despite the challenging environment. That is why we as a bank, we are bringing on diverse thinking from an IFC consultant who is locally and internationally exposed to enlighten us more on how to manage business cash flow in the new normal. So together with us, we have Sarah BG. She will take us through this topic, managing business cash flow in the new normal. Then later on, I'll be back and I will be taking you through what we are having as a bank for you. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, James, for that introduction. A very good morning to all our participants joining us from different parts of the country. Thank you so much, Cooperative Bank and the entire team that has made this possible. Just as a reminder, these webinars are as an initiative of a partnership between Cooperative Bank and IFC. And from the IFC side, I want to recognize the presence of my team leader, Stella Masinde. Karibu sana. It's always a joy, a privilege to have you on board. Thank you for the leadership that you provide for us and the support that you give me to be able to make this to happen. You did hear the voice of my co-producer or our moderator. We can call her our moderator, Diana, and she has made us comfortable in order to help us to navigate through the platform. We want to make this session as interactive as possible, as we usually do. Just in case there's somebody joining us for the very first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah Mbinji, and I have been consulting for the last 25 years and in business for the last 21 years. So the conversations we're going to have today are from the wearer of the shoes experience. So we are walking this road together. I like what James said. He said the new normal. Last year, we were calling it a time of crisis, you know, but now we become used to, we are getting more and more used to it and getting help. And that's what we were doing last year, just giving you a lot of help on how you can navigate as a business person in this space. So basically what we're going to be talking about is not theoretical. There are things which I personally face. And so I'm also going through the transitions just as you are. I've been consulting for IFC for the last 15 years, handling a number of projects. But the key things that I do is instructional design, which means the development of content, and also offering this content over and above providing business mentorship for people like you. And I'm also a financial management expert. Let me not say too much more, and let's go straight to what we want to talk about this morning. Cash flow management. This is a good conversation to have, especially in what we are calling the new normal. Cash flow management. And cash flow management is really important. Let me go back there. Managing business cash flows in the new normal. And I know in the room, and I can see the numbers are increasing. I know that there are business people on board just like me. I see there on the logo MSMEs. And when we talk about MSMEs, cash flow management has always been a big challenge for many people all the time. And this becomes even more critical right now. But in as much as we talk about managing business cash flows, I want to ask you a question. Is it really possible to talk about managing business cash flows and separating ourselves from the business? One of the things that messes us up as business people is our inability to separate ourselves from our businesses. And yet, financial management and cash flow management is a discipline. So we want to, in as much as we're talking about managing business cash flows, I want to put it to you this morning that if you're not disciplined in your personal financial management, you're likely to carry on that indiscipline in cash flow management into your business. So that means that if we're talking about business cash flow management, and who is running the business? You and I. And who are we? The business owners. It means that we need to have that high alert, that in as much as we're talking about business cash flows, we need to embrace these principles of separating it, getting that discipline so that we can separate ourselves from our businesses so that we can manage our cash flows better. Another big challenge I know we have is just cash flow planning. I have taught a number of SMEs, and I can see my friend Carol on the call. We did some work with her, and we're telling farmers, even before you get your bonus, and I'll tell you the same, as a business person, you need to have planned what you're going to do with the money before the money arrives on board. And that's how these whole conversations and these webinars are tying up. We talked about adjusting your business plan and so on. All that business planning and all those webinars and help that we have been giving you since last year are all tying in together. You need to know clearly as a business person, what is my business all about? What are my focus and priority areas? And especially in this new normal. Yesterday, we were talking about a friend of ours. And I don't know what it is about money. When you tend to have some money, some good balances sitting in your account, there's a way this money somehow tends to call you. And it wants you, there's a tendency for us to want to use that money. And so this is a story of a friend of ours. This is a real life story, who hit a jackpot in the ordinary course of doing business. He managed to get some good money. And you know what he decided to do? He decided to venture into a construction project, which is not his core business. And he decided to put up 12 villas in Diani, Ule Coast. And he decided to put up, and so even as we were going through the COVID-19, he was hopeful. We kept on telling him, hey, can't you see, can't you read the business environment? Things are changing. But he said, no, this COVID is just a passing cloud. We will continue with the construction. Why? Because he had the cash flow, with the hope that when things better, he will rent out the villas for 100,000 Kenya shillings per month. Who is he targeting? Tourists, local tourists and also international tourists. But we're living in this new normal. We know the travel restrictions and so on, especially with the recent lockdowns and so on. So what's happening to him is that he's finding himself in a situation where he spent a lot of money. He's now in a cash flow crunch, and he really doesn't know what to do next. And this is why it's important for us to have these conversations at this time. Sikatai ya kwamba, yes, you have been doing business, but as SME owners, we keep feeling, I hear phrases like, when I get money, lazima kwanza nijiambie pole. Lazima kwanza nijibambe. But you see, we need to put a proper focus, a proper perspective in these expenditures, even as we go forward. And even after you have spent that money, you still come back to Ndwati, you still come back to Peter, and you say, guys, I need help. But when we look at your transactions, we begin to see that you have been spending quite significant amount of money in the recent past. And we will be asking you, what did you do with that money? It is an indicator of your indiscipline in cash flow management. So that's why precisely we're having these conversations. Let me start off by doing, just bringing us back to speed. Diana, kindly help me locate that mic. Cash flow. When we talk about cash flow, what are we talking about? We're looking at the total amount of money that is flowing or being transferred in and out of your business. Cash flow. That's why I was saying that it's, yes, the bank is there to help you, but then we're going to be asking what's going on. And that's why you'll be asked for your business plans, you'll be asked for your cash flow focus and so on, to help somebody to get an indication as to what is going on in your business. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money going to? So even before a financial, your relationship manager asks you for this information, it should be clear to you as an SME owner, what am I doing with my money? So these are the conversations that we want. This session is all about opening our eyes to see where is the money coming from and where is the money going to. Cash flow management for the business in the new normal. Let's start off with a small activity. And even before we do that, thank you so much, Diana, for telling us where the chat box is. And I invite you to just go there and tell us, your name and where you're joining us from. I know you're joining us from different parts of the country. And as you do so, we want to answer this question. What could go wrong if your business runs out of cash? And the reason we're doing or even asking this question or engaging this conversation is to understand the clear role that cash plays in our businesses. And this is exactly what we have been saying in so many different words in these webinars that we have been having. So listen to it. Thank you so much, Diana. What could go wrong if your business runs out of cash? Let's go to the chat box, and I would like to hear. I know some of them will be real experiences of what has happened to you and me when we run out of cash. So Diana, I want to cross over to you and just sample for us some feedback that's coming in through the chat box. What could go wrong, or what has been going wrong when businesses run out of cash? Diana, over to you.
Thank you, Sarah. We have Caroline Mwazi, who says it will paralyze my business. No cash, no business. Lucy Njeri says no operations at all. We have Charles Cheboy. Charles says close shop. Plain and simple.
Thank you. Yes, plain and simple. Do we have some feedback coming in from the YouTube channel?
Not yet, Sarah. Our technical team is still working on the live streaming, but hopefully we'll have that up and running shortly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much, our participants. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I can see the feedback is coming in. The long and short is that we're just using different words to say the same thing. No cash, no operations. And I really want to challenge you, and I agree with you, because you're saying there's not a single thing you can move in your business if you don't have cash. Hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Lucy, I see you kindly echoes and breaking up. Diana, am I clear?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Sarah.
Okay, all right.
Let
just
me
in case.
Have a word with Lucy.
Okay, but just in case, I know Diana will point out to me if there's a challenge. So we have seen the critical, position that cash plays in our businesses, and why we are even having this webinar and why we were invited. So when we talk about cash flow and cash flow management, it's very important for you to figure out this cash that is flowing in and out of your business. And so you'll see like what I'm sharing, what you're seeing on the screen right now. That house is your business. It's your shop. It's your virtual, wherever you are, whichever kind of business you're doing, you can see that there are some green notes, there are some gray notes. Kwa Kiswahili tunasema ni mzunguko wa pesa. Lazima tuwe na uzoefu wa kuzungusha pesa katika biashara zetu. We need to learn. Lazima upate hiyo uzoefu. Lazima upate those skills that will help you or better arm you so that you can run your business. I mean, you're the ones who have told me, and I totally agree with you. There is not a single thing you can do in your business if there's no cash. That means that it is critical for us to understand the rules of the game, to understand some tidbits and some advice that we can get so that we can arm ourselves better. And you see, there are different activities that are taking place in your business, Some of them are, the trading activities, because we are all in business, because we want to provide a certain product or a certain service to who? A customer who is in need of it out there. And as you provide, as you exchange that product or that service with a customer, they compensate you or they reward you by paying you. And this is now where we're talking about cash. You want to identify the cash that is flowing not only into your business, but also out of your business. And this is now what becomes the catch-22 for many of us. You are trading, you're working very hard, and you're making very good business success. Na pesa inaingia ndani. But because of various reasons, or cash flow management, maybe we don't have the knowledge, or maybe it just boils down to an undisciplined issue. We find that sometimes we as business owners, we starve the business of money, cash flow that it would use in operations, by grabbing that money and putting it in our pockets. And that becomes the genesis of trouble. You took your family, maybe before the lockdown, to Dubai or something like that. Or even sometimes we travel, business, so that we can buy stocks and so on. In the process, you see a few good things, unajinunulia. Sasa, it is important that we learn, or we master the art of cash flow management if we're going to take our businesses forward in the new normal. If we have ever had to take this thing seriously, now is the time to do so. So you can see that money is flowing into the business. And I know that we usually do everything possible within our powers, to move our businesses forward in terms of operations. But at one point or another, you will need assistance, because you have told me it's not even about profitability. And the question is it possible for a business to be profitable and run out of cash? And the answer is yes. Very, very possible. So that means that at some point you'll need a friend to help you out. And that's why we say your banker is your best friend. At some point, you'll need to have a conversation with Peter. At some point, you'll need to have a conversation with Damaris and so on. There are quite a number of cooperative bank officials on board. So this is all about learning to organize your cash flows. And part of that organization, you can see in these slides, tumeanza sasa kupanga hizo noti. We have separated them. We are now classifying. There are some which look the same. So we are arranging the gray ones on the left, and we're arranging the green ones on the right. If we're going to talk about cash flow management, you need to learn how to organize your finances, organize your cash flow. And part of that organization is where you begin to ask yourself, which monies are flowing in? Can I clearly see them? And which monies are flowing out? Can I clearly see them? So some of us, okay, I'll come to those examples later. So what is the cash flowing into my business? This is cash. You sell, you're paid in cash. That is money that is directly flowing into your business. More examples, trade credit is a normal way of doing business. We want to expand our sales by giving our customers credit and so on. But at some point, you must collect that credit. And when you collect it, it becomes an automatic cash flowing into your business. You approach the bank and they give you some kind of assistance, and this assistance has many, many names, as we're going to be told. That is an inflow into the business. And also you and I, from time to time, we are always rescuing our businesses. It is now the first week of the month. We have just finished the first week of the month. And because of the current realities of the new normal, sometimes we find ourselves maybe having difficulty collecting cash from people who owe us and so on. So maybe for some of us, and I know some of you will relate to this, some of us had to use our own finances to pay the workers. William Awongo. No, Kweli, that's what we're calling the owner's injection. So here you're asking yourself, that money that is flowing into the business, can I identify it? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you and I as business owners to inject cash into the business to keep it up and running, because you've told me nothing can go on without money in the business. But it's important for you to keep track of how much you have injected into your business. Why? Because the business must return. The business must return back the money that you have, rescued it with. And then you also need to organize in terms of outflows? Can you clearly see where the money is going? And that's why for some of us, record keeping sometimes is a challenge for many of us as business people, but it's important that all those records, you have them. It's important for you to see, where is my money going? You know, I know you have been spending in the last even 1 week, 1 month, and so on. Where is the proof that money has been spent? So maybe you purchased, maybe you paid your suppliers, maybe you've repaid some loans, maybe umejilipa some money that the business owed you. So what are we beginning to do? We are beginning to put the house in order as far as finances are concerned. There is a world of a difference, just as I said earlier, between cash flow and profit. Profit, if I asked you, this business that you're engaged in, this business that you have been doing for the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, if I asked you, is it worth it? You would either give me one of 3 answers. Maybe you tell me, yes, Sarah, it's worth it. Maybe somebody might say, hey, I don't know, I'm not sure. Or somebody might say, I don't think it's worth it. But for most of us, the reason why you still continue to hang on to that business, to operate it, is because it is profitable. You're making profit. In the ordinary course of doing business, you're getting money, you're spending money, hiyo ni kawaida. But at the end of the day, you are left with something. And that something is what we use to pay our bills, to take our children to school and do all these other things, our projects, expand your house and all that. So profit is quite different from cash flow. And that's why I was telling you earlier, it is very possible, and it happens all the time, for our businesses to be profitable, and yet we run into a cash flow crisis. So when we talk about cash flow, we have said it is cash flowing into the business. You've identified those gray notes and you're consolidating them. That's why you have different bank accounts and different places where we put money. Ni kama vile unaweza kuweka maji kwa mtungi, a reservoir somewhere. Now, in as much as money is flowing into that reservoir or that mtungi or your business, you must control the outflow. It is your responsibility to provide guidance to your organization and discipline yourself to control the outflow of cash. So what is the rule of the thumb? When it comes to cash flow management, open the funnel and open it wide and let as much money flow into your business. That's why we even talk about things like diversification and other strategies that I'll be giving you later, especially in this new normal, because our businesses are still, being affected. We're still making adjustments and so on. So widen the funnel as wide as possible, but control the tap. Funga yo mfreji as much as is possible without grinding down the operations of the business. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're looking for a pool of cash. I know some of you have been investing, you have those savings accounts and so on, and we are able to borrow money from that pool of cash. So it will never be a disadvantage for you in one way or another. And I know Ndwati is ready, and he's going to be telling us the kind of assistance that the bank would be giving us to grow our cash reserves and also to help us out in our time of need. So the rule of the thumb is, at any given time, hakikisha ya kwamba kuna pesa imebakia, some kind of reservoir in your business. And that's why the bank has all sorts of solutions to help us so that they can assist us and we can keep that pool of cash there. So I want to share some cash management tips with you, just 6 of them, because I know I'm pressed for time, and I know that Ndwati has a lot, and we want to hear from you, and they want to give you solutions of what you can do so that you can be on top of the game, so that you can keep your business up and running. So the first tip is identify your cash flow. You need to be able to see your cash flow clearly. We used to do cash flow planning for the month, But in this new normal, in a time of crisis, you can't wait to get a clear picture of your cash flow at the end of the month. So for some of our businesses, it's daily. Lazima ukimaliza ukifunga hiyo M-Pesa business, whatever kind of a business, iwe hardware, iwe nini, you have to see clearly the cash flowing in and out of your business at the end of the day. You can do this weekly. Today is Thursday. So tomorrow is a good time for you to do your cash flow plan for next week. Nothing should catch you off guard next week. Why? Because you know how to plan your cash. You saw it coming. Cash flow planning. And the second thing we want to look at is identify what causes cash flow crisis in your business. Ni nini inasababisha upungufu ama ukosefu wa pesa katika biashara yako? Once you're aware, you are alert, you're conscious of some of the activities or behaviors that you're likely, or traps that you're likely to fall into, it's going to be a safeguard for you. And then thirdly, adopt a cash management plan, and then look for ways of increasing the cash that is flowing into your business. What does it mean? Kufungua that funnel. And then you must also tighten, you must control the spending out of your business. And if you find yourself in that situation where iyo mtungi, that water reservoir, has some good cash, what options do you have available for you? So these are the 6 things that we want to look at, and we can start looking at them one by one. Step number 1. These things are systematic. It's a financial management discipline. It doesn't just happen. Someone has to make it happen, and that person is you. So in identifying your cash flow, unakaa chini na unajiuliza, this money that is flowing into my business, where is it coming from? Is it coming from trading activities, or is it coming from other activities? If it is coming from trade activities, that's what we would call a core activity. Every business is poised to provide a certain, to be an answer, as a solutions provider to a customer outside there. So in as much as you're telling me, yes, Sarah, we are trading, I want to ask you, how is it, how is business in this new normal in terms of trading? Unaingiza pesa kiasi gani? What about your expenses and so on? So you look at the cash flowing in and out of your business arising from trade activities. If money is flowing in and out of your business arising from core activities or trade activities, then we would call your business, those are quality cash flows. And then there are other activities such as financial activities. Cooperative bank, yes, can give you some assistance, but you can't rely on them to be giving you assistance to rescue your business all the time when you are not trading. And that's why they'll tell you, yes, we can help you, but let's just look at your cash flows. What kind of cash is flowing in and out of your business? What's the quality of your transactions, the quality of your business, which is the quality of your transactions? And then also investment activities, there are people who can also help you. Yes, I know we always invest in our businesses at one point or another, but even for you to develop that discipline or really to have the money available to invest or to plow back into your business, I think you're beginning to see that it's all about planning and learning the art of cash flow management. So you need to know exactly which type of cash is flowing into my business and out of my business. Is it resulting from trade activities, from investing activities, from financing activities? Then here, my advice to you, the tidbit here is you need to focus on your core activity, the reason for your being. You need to listen to your customers, especially in this new normal, because maybe the taste and preferences or the needs of your customers have changed. So you must remain relevant. You must give them what they want. You must repackage yourself, your business, your offerings, so that your business can can continue to operate, and not only to operate, but also to be profitable. So that is tip number one. You need to know, see clearly. It's only when you do this kind of analysis that you'll discover, I've been pulling too much from my business. I need to stop. You'll never know that unless you do this analysis. Step number two, you need to identify or to be aware of some of the things that can get you into that cash flow trap or that cash flow crisis. Mmeniambia, no money, no business. No money, close shop. And what are some of the things that can contribute to this? Number one, financial mismanagement. And this is at a personal and also at a business level. And that's why we've kept on telling you, you must get the blueprints of your business very, very clear. And especially in this new normal, things have changed. But is that reflected in your business plan and in the way that you're doing your business? Or are you diverting your cash flows from one area to another area, and that mixing of funds and so on? That's what we just lump up, we put in the basket, and we say financial mismanagement. Watch out for that. Those are some of the things that can cause you to have a cash flow crisis. Another one, which is internal, lazima tutafute mbinu za kuuza, mauzo. You have to try every strategy to push up, to boost, step up your sales. And that's why we are taking now more and more seriously online transactions, online platforms. We are there. What are we trying to do? We are trying to increase our sales. Why are we trying to increase our sales in the current circumstances? Because we know that if we don't sell, we're going to have a cash flow crisis, plain and simple. Then the other one is maybe loss of market share. And in this new normal, I don't even have to tell you because you've experienced it. It is cutthroat competition. We've always had those competitors, those people who make us spend sleepless nights and so on. But now the market has changed. So much has changed locally and globally. And as a result of that competition, we are finding that sometimes we are losing market share, poor product range. And this is where I was saying you must figure out what is adding value to the customer. You must find out, what can I do to add value to the customer? So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you have products, you have services, but nobody is in need of them. That's what I'm just calling poor product range. Then there are some external factors like the COVID-19 crisis, lockdown. Lockdown means lockdown, and it has its many implications. Depressed economy, competition, excessive costs, high cost of borrowing. I always hear people saying, Aki banks, Aki, the rates are so expensive, but you're the same guys who go to the Shylock. So you need to really question your rationale. And at the end of the day, when you do your research from whichever parameters you use, you come to realize that the bank is not as expensive as you think. And some of us have even, we can attest to that. Then the other thing you need to do is to develop a cash management plan. Do cash flow analysis, my brothers and sisters. Nobody is going to do it for you. That's why the business has employed you as employee number 001. Your responsibility is to guide that business. And part of it, because we know the importance that cash plays in our businesses, if you don't analyze the cash, nobody will. So it starts with you. And you need to tighten that, especially in the new normal. You need to look at your customers. These are the people who keep us up and running. But what are their payment histories? What do they look like? What season are we? Like right now, schools are closed. So I don't expect schools to be having fat balances sitting in their bank accounts. So you need to know the season that you're operating in and what implication it's going to have on your business cash flows. and also expenditure fluctuations. Be realistic about your income sources. Be realistic about delays. I shared with you the story of my friend who was not being realistic about the situation, that we're actually living in, this new normal. So you have to be realistic about what has changed in this new normal, embrace that, and then make the adjustments that you need to make in your business, where income is coming in, where there are delays, where there are costs, and so on. And it's not just good enough to have that plan, but you need to review it. You need to review it on a more frequent basis than ever before. Otherwise, you stand the risk of running out of cash, and that has its very adverse effects. Look for ways of opening that funnel. Offer those promotions, those discounts, encourage customers to pay on cash. I know kitambo tulikuwa tunasema hata ukinilipa next month mimi sina neno, najua pesa itaingia tu. But now you have to, because you're conscious that if you run out of cash, things can go wrong. Encourage your customers to pay those deposits. People who have taken on credit, accelerate the collections. Hiyo pesa ni yako, you worked for it, and you need to make every effort. Don't be ashamed. Don't say, sasa huyu mtu atafikiria namsumbua. Pesa ni yako, and you need it. You need it in your business so that you can power the operations of your business. And then regularly look at your data balances. Kina nani nawadai? How much? How long is that balance? Me, if I have your money na usipo nikumbusha, sintasahau. But nani anaumia? Sini wewe. So the onus is on us to regularly look at those outstanding balances. Kina nani wako na hela zetu, how much, and so on. And then track them. Make those phone calls, send that text, and so on. And do everything possible to make money flow into your business. Make it easy for the customers to buy, and especially in this new normal, that's why we're encouraging. Yes, you have your Instagram pages, you have WhatsApp, you have all those avenues that you're encouraging, marketing your business. But when it comes to payment, the sale is not complete unless you get that money into your bank account. We thank God for M-Pesa, and we thank God for all these avenues that are available to help us to transact on electronic platforms, so that we make sure that the money hits your bank, hits your M-Pesa account, and so on. And then add more money flowing into your business. Look for other ways and means of getting cash flowing into your business. And if there's a single thing that I personally, and I know many of you have learned as a result of this new normal, is all about the importance of diversification. The more the streams of income flowing into your business, the better it is for you, as opposed to concentrating on just one. Because if something, you put your eggs in one basket, something could go wrong and they could all break. And then last but not least, also, you can work very, very hard. And I know in fact, if there's a time we have ever worked hard in our businesses, it's from last year to date. When we came to terms with the new normal, we have been doing everything possible. I'm telling you, the creativity and innovation in getting the money in, that's good, but it's not enough. We must learn the discipline of controlling the cash that is flowing out of our businesses. And how do you do that? Figure out which costs are essential and which ones are non-essential. If it's not a critical expense, if it's not an important, a priority expense, if it's not something that you had forecasted in your, your business plan, and if it's not aligned to what you're doing, please, that's what we call a non-essential. Wachana nayo. Why? Ndio pesa ibaki kwa hiyo mtungi itakusaidia. And then secondly, negotiate with your suppliers. Try to negotiate with them because your suppliers are the only financiers who give you an interest-free borrowing. So these are not people you want to joke around with. Negotiate with them. If there's something that we need to learn in the new normal, especially as far as cash flow management is concerned, talk. And whatever you have agreed, at least that, it will, those few days or months, it will give you a pool of cash which you can use to continue your operations until money flows into your business. And then take advantage of early payment initiatives. Restructuring. Last year we talked a lot about restructuring. But you see, when money begins to flow into your business, also take advantage of that and accelerate your repayments. Why? At the end of the day, you will have paid less than more, and you'll have saved some coins. And then tighten your inventory. If you're in a manufacturing, concern, retailer, whatever it is that you're doing, even some of us in consulting, tighten your inventory. Don't just produce. Don't just keep on buying in the hope that people will buying stocks in the hope that people will buy from you. And that's why our radars are always out there. You need to get all sorts of strategies to tighten your production, to tighten your stocks. And then consider leasing options as opposed to buying options where you don't have to spend a lot of money. Remember, the rule of the game is, when it comes to cash flow, it's about two things. It's about the amount and it's about the timing. So you don't want to have a lot of cash flow flowing out of your business. That's what we call hemorrhage. Now you find yourself with cash. We advise or recommend that it is not a good idea just to keep that cash hanging in your current account. This is where you reach out to your relationship manager and you find out, what are the options? What can I do with this cash? If my friend had put those millions, if he had taken this, maybe he wouldn't have gone that route that he took. That extra cash, look for a way of putting it in an interest earning option. And I know Ndwati will tell us what the bank has available. And then number two, ukijipata na pesa mingi, angalia madeni zako, jaribu kuzilipa. Another one, you find yourself with the excess cash flow, you can prepay your suppliers, because you will always continue to buy, to procure, goods from them, and then get a good deal because you're prepaying. This is because uko na nguvu kijipima financial cash flow wise. And then if you find yourself also with the excess cash flow, it's a good opportunity for you to also invest in in maybe better equipment, better assets, which will produce better and save you. And at the end of the day, it will be a win also for you. So those are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you. And I think I've said quite a lot. Please pick what you can, run with it. And I wish you all the very best as you begin to implement. You can see they're very simple. These are things that are easy. They are doable. You just need to start doing it. Don't procrastinate. At this point, I want to hand over to Ndwati. Ndwati, over to you. From the bank's perspective, what solutions do you have for our customers?
Thank you, Sarah. It was, you have taken us through that session, and it is very enlightening. And I strongly believe our customers here, and even ourselves, we have picked a number of areas that we'll be working on in this new normal to make sure that we remain competitive. From the bank side, these are our commitments to our customers. Number one, we have a specific MSME fund, 23 billion, that we are supposed to give to our customers. And in terms of the requirements, we are very, very competitive. Visit any of our branches and you'll be supported. In terms of our turnaround time, you'll be based on the amount that you require and the type of the facility that you require. We can be able to give you even within 48 hours. So visit our branches across the nation and you'll be supported under this package. The other, and specifically for that, what we are doing is we are supporting you to recover. Remember, other than just restructuring, a number of you require additional financing so that you can recover. And we are ready for you to support you so that you can go back to where you are or even expand even more. The other area, in terms of relationship management as a bank, we have relationship managers who we call them business bankers in all our branches, and also managers. Visit them, they will hold you as you package your application, as also they also support you in terms of preparation of the cash flows, interpretation of those ratios and all that, and they will do it for free. So even if you are not borrowing, you can visit any of our branches, and our officers in our branches and the branch managers can also educate you more about your cash flow or your books and what you need to do, so that when you want to borrow, you'll be knowing at what point you'll be borrowing and what kind of a solution you require, whether it is trade solution, whether it's working capital, whether it's overdraft. We are ready for you. So visit it of our branches. The other area, we have digital solutions. And I will be taking you through these digital solutions. Then another is we have what we are calling government or UK government MSME stimulus package. What is happening? We are working together with the government to support you also recover. And the facilities that you are giving, the working capital solutions, even if you have an existing working capital solution with us, we can give you an additional working capital to run concurrently with the existing solution, just to make sure that you are back to business. So visit any of our branches and you'll be supported. For this MSME government stimulus package, what you just require, your business will be registered. You need to be tax compliant, and also you need to have business license. It's as simple as that. Go with those, the current business license, visit any of the branches, and you'll be supported. Whether you are a new customer or you are an existing. If you have you are an existing customer and you have an existing facility, and you have ability to manage the two, we'll be able to support you. Another area that we are here to support you, have what you are calling information dissemination. We have what we call MSME online portal and website. All these webinars that you are taking you through and other educative materials, they are in that website, and kindly visit that website and our MSME online portal and you learn more. And go to the next slide. Now, as an entrepreneur or as a business customer, what are the needs? Number one, yes, we have the payment and collection needs. Of course, you are in the business of buying and selling, whether raw materials or value-added items. Another one, you require, to borrow. There is a borrowing needs, and the other one, there is the transactional needs. And we understand you, and we have solutions for each of these needs. And one of the solutions that we have is what we call Msme Accounts. We have what we call gold, silver, and bronze. And you can open these accounts from any branch. And what is what are the benefits? Like for gold, if you join gold, number one, in terms of cash handling, we don't charge you anything. Free cash handling. We don't charge you anything. Number two, all the checkbooks that we will be issuing to you when you are under that gold package, we will not be charging you. Number 3, we will also be giving you an insurance package if you continuously operate your account, actively, of up to 1 million, and it's the bank that is paying for that on death and permanent disability. I've just given you an example of the benefits that we usually give under these packages. And kindly visit any of our branches, and we have staff there who will take you through all those solutions. The other area is on business loans and overdrafts. We are here and we understand that you have borrowing needs. I know we have supported a number of you through what we are calling loan restructures, and we'll continue supporting you based on your need, case by case. And we have been giving what we are calling moratorium. Others are coming and they require, they want us to reduce the installment amount, all that. We are here to support you. And if your business is not yet stable, kindly visit us so that we can have a word and we see how we can support you until you stabilize, especially this time when we have a lockdown. The other area also, we have overdrafts. Yes, here we have secured and also unsecured overdrafts. We also have what we are calling mobile facilities. And kindly note, if you fully bank all the sales with us, we can be able to support you with unsecured solutions. Mobile loan, you just go to your mobile loan and you borrow up to 1 million based on your cash flows. You have been taken through cash flows by Sarah, but what we are requesting you, can we have that money also passing through our channels or our bank, so that now instead of us requesting a lot of securities, we just look at your account, and we give you a percentage of what is going through your account as a facility, whether it's an overdraft, a mobile facility, or just a normal working capital, And if you do that, it means when you visit a branch in the morning, you do an application. By the following day, you have money. On mobile, instantly, you borrow, you get your money immediately. So, kindly, if you have a working capital need, visit us. If you are still struggling, and we had done even the first restructure, and you strongly feel that you are not yet stable, kindly, you can also visit us so that we can have a conversation. If you strongly also feel that you require us to support you in terms of how you are keeping your books, visit our branches and our officers will hold you. We have trained them and they will be able to take you through this. And also be attending our webinars. We are also educating, we have sessions whereby we are educating you on all those areas. So you can see we are ready for you at this time. We want to grow together. As you grow, we also grow. So visit us. The other area that we want to work together with you is on correction. You are in business of valuation or just buying and selling, whereby there is exchange of money. You are getting money from the buyers, and also you are also paying the seller or the suppliers. And we have correction solutions, various of them. And the reason why we have them, we want you to, to free your time. You don't need to visit our branch to go and deposit your money. You can be able to use our channel to be able to pay or to deposit the money, and you continue doing business. Then the other area is keeping safe. You need you also to reduce chances of handling physical cash at this era of COVID-19. And also these solutions that you are having here, you can also visit us and you can become one of our agents. For example, merchants, if you require a PDQ, we can give you. If you want to become our agent or Konchirani agent, you can visit us and we can be able to work together, to partner, and you have additional income. Also, you have what we call Lipa na M-Pesa. People request for either the buy goods and the money is terminated directly to the account. At the moment that money is terminated directly to your account, it will work wonders because you'll be able to get that cash flow ready, whether through mobile or just unsecured working capital. We are not telling you that the money just to stay there for days. Just let your business pass through us and we'll be able to give you what you want. So those are some of the solutions that you can see on collection and payment solutions, whereby we can partner or you can make use of them to free up your time and increase efficiency on your side, because you'll be having more time to do more business. On the side of asset finance, you know, depending on where you are, the kind of business you are doing, we can support you in terms of financing, whether it is pickups, lorries, buses, you know, medical equipment, even solar solutions, all that. We are able to do that. So visiting of our branches, we have partnered with the various suppliers of these machinery and vehicles, and we have very competitive rates and financing. So just visit us, bank with us, and you'll be able to enjoy this. Then on the side of trade solutions, you know, we are being educated about, you know, we need to free up, you know, our cash flows so that we can be able to do more, you know. And what we are doing, we are having various trade solutions. Right now, what you can see there, supply and distributor financing, whereby, for example, you have a supplier, you know, you supply goods, a supplier supplies goods to a buyer, then us, we are in between there as the financial, whereby now the goods that you have purchased from the supplier, we clear with the supplier to wait for you to sell for 2 days, 2 weeks, a month, and then you're able to pay us. So we have those solutions, both on the side of the supplier financing and also distributor financing. And we have partnered with the various organizations like Baburi, Coca-Cola, Ultravetis, Yara, and so many others. And we are really supporting, and we are ready to support you, even in the sector that you are in. So at the trade finance, I know we have many solutions, billboards, you know, these credit guarantees, we have performance guarantees. And if you visit any of our branches, our officers are well equipped to offer you the solution that you require. So just don't stay there, visit our solutions and our branches, and you get assisted, whether on the side of working capital facilities, asset finance, and even mortgage solutions, and the trade solutions that you can see in front of us. So in terms of call to action, number one, as you have been taken through by Sarah, you know, let's understand your business cash flow dynamics and avoid diversion. We have noted a number of cases whereby even that we are handling here. Somebody borrowed money to do for working capital, and they ended up buying up, you know. Then the business itself cannot be able to pay for that working capital. So you start struggling. So avoid diversion. If the money you are borrowing is for working capital, let it be working capital. If you require to buy RAD, come, we will give you another facility to run concurrently. And the reason is, for the RAD purchase, we will give you a longer tenor, you know, to manage your installments. So it is a matter of matching what you are doing with the facility that you are borrowing. The other one is leverage on our enhanced payment and transaction solutions, you know, so that you can be able to bank more with us, and you'll also enjoy other solutions, you know. Identify also your present need and visit our branches so that our bank managers and also business bankers there can support you. Lastly, visit our COP online, you know, portal. See, there is a link there. Just go to our website, you'll be able to see that. And then also keep safe. So that is what we have from business banking. We are ready to support you.
Diana, can you hear Ndwati?
No, I can't.
Okay. Dan, with your
Yes,
permission,
sorry.
with your permission as moderator, I want to recognize the presence of our team lead in Africa, in charge of non-financial services, Kadiga. Kadiga, I think, joined the call after I had already done the introductions. I don't know, Diana, is it in order for us to allow her, Kadiga, to say one or two comments, and then we can go into the question and answer session? Is that
Sure,
okay?
Sarah. Yes, that's fine.
Kadiga is joining us from Cairo. Kadiga, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Diana. It's great to be here with you today and to be able to join you during this session and hear from you as well. And I'm looking forward to learn more about the questions you have. I lead the non-financial services workstream at IFC with the Financial Institutions Group. And I'd be happy to hear, the areas you'd be interested more in, especially around financial management. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kadiga, for that. And Diana, over to you. I'm not sure. Do we have Ndwati? Ndwati, are you there?
Yes, I am in.
Peter.
I am in.
Okay, all right. Yes, over to you. I'm not sure if you had finished your presentation. Over to you.
Okay, sorry. Sorry for that. So we are ready to support you. So visit any of our branches for any of those solutions that have taken you through, either on the side of the working capital, if you require support, if you require also, we look at the facility that you are having, and if you require, restructuring, additional period, you can come. If you require this government solution, it's the stimulus package, you can also visit us, and we are ready to support you. So that's what you're having. In addition to that, if you would like to partner with us in terms of you want to become an agent, you require a PDQ in your business, we are ready to support you with all that. We are here for you. Thank you. Maybe we can take up the questions.
Thank you, Peter, for that insightful presentation. As we wait for the questions, I'll go cross over to YouTube quickly and share some of the feedback coming through. We have Sanjo Technical Solutions, who says, we highly appreciate your efforts to educate us on how to face challenges. And then we have Julius Kiragu, who's requesting that we kindly share the presentation. And indeed, the presentation will be shared with all the participants. Team, please use the chat box to pose any questions or share feedback, and the panel will address the questions. Thank you. I don't see any questions coming through from YouTube or WebEx. Please feel free to pose any questions that you may have to the bank. This is your chance. Whatever financing needs you may require, the bank is here to assist and support. So please feel free to use the chat box. In the meantime, I'll just read some of the feedback that came through via WebEx. And we have Ian Mutuma who says, awesome session, quite good stuff. Kudos, Sarah. And then we have a feedback from Jacqueline, who says cash diversion is because the bank does not easily buy a client's idea of doing something else while servicing the business loan. What else is required to access another loan? James, kindly note that question. And then we have Jackton who says, I need more on trade solutions. I'm dealing with a lot of distributors, and if I can get a financing solution at the middle, we'll appreciate. So kindly address those questions as you wait for more to come in. Thank you. Oh, sorry, just before you proceed, we have John who's asking, can I get a loan in the bank if I present a statement from another bank to back up my COP statement?
Yes, we can let you visit any of our branches based on with your 6 months or 1 year. No, if your business is seasonal, go with the 1 year certified statement, be able to support you. If your cash flows are regular, you can go with 6 months certified. The reason why we are requesting for those statements, we want to understand your cash flows so that we can be able to finance without other financing. So we are ready to support you. Visit any of our branches and we'll be able to support you.
Thank you, James. The other question from Jacqueline was cash diversion is because the bank does not easily buy a client's idea of doing something else while servicing the business loan. What else is required to access another loan?
Thank you, thank you. Right now, in fact, what I had taken you through is that right now we are supporting you in terms of working capital. If you require additional financing in the working capital, visit us and we'll be able to support you with even this government stimulus fund so that those facilities can run concurrently. In addition to that, depending with your need, if you require asset finance, we can be able to lend you, even if you have the working capital. If you require mortgage, we'll be able to support you. If you require an overdraft, we can be able right now to be able to lend and support you. The key thing is, let's see your sales through the account so that we can be able to without asking so many documentation, a lot of documentation. So we are ready to support you.
Thank you, James. We have a few more questions coming through. We have Onesimus. Onesimus is from Elion Farmline and Agro Solution. He says, my business is in Kinangop, but I'm locked down in Nairobi. How can I negotiate with the branch? I think he meant branch manager as opposed to engineer. When I'm in Nairobi, I'm not sure when the country will be opened up. So this is a question of how to get in touch with the branch manager in Kinangop, and yet he's in Nairobi. And then we have another question from Anita Kibue, who says, my banking has been affected by COVID. How can the bank assist me to procure a working capital, loan? And then we
Thank-
have Charles. Charles says, is there a difference in interest rates between the bank rates and government MSME facility? How competitive are the bank's rates compared with other banks? You can answer those questions, Andwati, and then I'll come back again to read the rest of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Number one, for the branch, engineer branch, that's a branch that you're having in Kinagop. If you require any support, our network, we are branchless, So visit any of the branch near you and you'll be supported. Yeah, and then also you can share your details here, you can pick, so that we can engage you and make sure that you are sorted today. So engage us. The other one, in terms of the rates, that stimulus fund, the UK stimulus facility, we are giving it at 0.5% discount. So it is discounted. So for the others, when you are giving at 13%, this one you are giving it at 12.5%. So take advantage. And if you have an existing facility, you can be able to have even this one to run concurrently. Our request is make sure don't divert, because the main purpose why you are doing this together with the government to make sure that your business is back or your business recovers. So we will be monitoring your cash flows. So you're expecting you also bank free with us and put that money into that business. In terms of, at this point, can we give working capital? You have said yes. We'll be able to give you solution based on your needs. So we are ready to support you on the working capital facilities and any other solutions that you may require.
Thank you. Yes, we have a few other questions. We have Kayanga Wasike, who says, great information for the MSMEs. I will need the very basic startup information because I was just about to start my business, but COVID-19 came in. I'm struggling on the best way to begin to avoid the challenges I am hearing. We have Anthony Nyongesa, who says, I'm in construction business. How can the bank assist me financially to procure equipment and construction material? And then we have Ian, who asks, can one access loan if one has okay, I'm not sure what this word is, but YEA account type, but still transacting business. And then Anne asks, can one get a working capital loan for an agribusiness while servicing an asset finance? Wow, we have quite a number of questions, Ndwati, so I'm just going to go through all of them as you take note of them, and then you'll address them. We have Jackton. Jackton is asking, is it advisable to go for an overdraft of a credit card while in need of short-term facility to service my invoices? And then Jacqueline says, what is the turnaround time for top-up loan and what are the requirements? And then John would like to find out, can the bank use before COVID statement? Can the bank use before COVID statement to loan a business because most businesses' cash flow dwindled during COVID? And then, this is a follow-up, Kayanga, to the earlier question that he was asking. He says, I forgot to mention that the business I'm about to start is in the hospitality industry, which has really been affected by COVID-19. And then we have a question coming in from YouTube. Julius Kiragu is asking, is it possible to get loan and support it with a company bank statement, which gets jobs sometimes? Over to you, Ndwati.
Thank you. Number one, I'll go to Kayanga Wasike, who is in hospitality industry. And he wants, Kayanga, you want, information about, startup and the best way to operate, and this is the right time, because when you visit our branches and you meet our branch managers in a branch near you and the officers there, they will be able to work with you from now until even that point when you require even financial support. So let's work with you to make sure that you are successful. Yes, where you want to start is at the hospitality. I know there is the issue of lockdown, but it will not be there forever. So start having, that base now. And I can assure you, we work together with you. And as you move on, to be able to guide you. In addition to that, I will also be reading what is in our website and also the MSME portal, and also be attending this webinar so that you can also hear more from our consultants who are locally and internationally exposed. Anthony?
Ndoti, sorry, Ndoti, maybe
Yes.
if you can allow me to just to add on to Hayanga's comment or question, I would just like to encourage Hayanga, together with any other person who is in that startup category. It is very, very important for you, Hayanga, to come up with a business plan. And I know that Cooperative Bank has that, they can give you assistance in that direction, because there's somebody who had asked this in one of our previous webinars. So I know that your relationship manager will help you. But the business plan is very, very critical for business people who are really startups. You want to start a business and there's so much going on. Even before you think about the challenges, that people are talking about as far as cash flow management is concerned, a very good place to start is, do you have a business plan? And is that business plan viable? And there are so many parameters that go into the development of that, business plan. Where are you planning to locate it? How are you planning to, to offer these services? Which teams do you require? How are you going to market it? And so on. There are a number of questions which will be answered in that document. So I would just like to encourage you, Hayanga, many people, when they want to start an organization, a business, they say, you know what, Sarah, I have all these things in my mind. It's quite clear to me, and I think I'm good to go. But we advise that it is good for you to go a step ahead and write that down. Crystallize your thinking, write it down in a document, and then read that document, see what it's telling you, even before you present, that document to a prospective financier. So there are different sources of finances. You can look at your savings, you can look at the circles, their financials, their business partners, and so on. But the most important thing is, do you have a business plan? Is that business plan written down? Because that's what will guide you. It is the blueprints of what will help you to navigate in your new business. Thank you, Ndwati. Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah, for that. We are ready to support you, Ayanga, on the issue of even business plan, development. We have even materials on the same. So we require also your details. You can put your details there so that we can pick them and engage you separately. We go to Anthony. The issue of if you require, to procure equipment, machinery. Yes, we can support you on this, and the same, you can learn concurrently and with the working capital solutions if you have any, or if you have a working capital solution, we can also support you at asset finance to procure the machinery or equipment that you require. So visit any of our branches and we'll be able to support you on the same. Ian, your account. this is an account for youths. The question was, can we finance under this account? Yes, we can. No, already, if you are in business, transact through that account, and we'll be able to support you. You know, as we move on, we encourage you now to transit from this youth account to our MSME packages so that you can enjoy other solutions like the ones I had highlighted. But doesn't mean that we cannot support you under this. In fact, even if we transit you to the MSME packages that we had taken you through, we'll use bankings under this account to support you under the package account. So we are ready to support you anytime. Jackson, the issue of either use of overdraft or credit card. This one, in terms of cost and convenience, okay, we have the two solutions and others. So depending on what you want, and in terms of the cost and also the convenience, you can use either. Because for both of them, what we usually do, we mark limits. Overdraft, already you have a limit. Credit card, also you have given you a limit. So depending with the cost and convenience, the choice is yours if you have both of them. Because then, Jacqueline, in terms of top-ups loans, SRA, this already a top-up facility means already you are with us. You have your documentation. It's only that you need an additional financing. So within 24, if you apply today, there is no reason why by tomorrow you should not have your money in your account. So, because already we have visited you, you have your documents, you have seen your account, how you have paid the previous facilities. So it should be easy. And unless there is anything like additional of security that because maybe you require enhancement of the limit. But if it's a straightforward, yeah, I mean, I'm talking of straightforward, and that's why I'm encouraging everybody to bank fully their sales. That's why I was encouraging you to make sure that you have those correction solutions. It means we'll be able to give you even a security facilities where you don't require even perfection of securities. John, can bank use before COVID statement to loan? What you are doing, we want to see your business trend. So what you have been doing, you have been checking how your business have been operating before COVID and even during the COVID and even this now in the new normal, so that we can understand your business trend, your cash flows as you have been taken through, and be able to know how we can support you. So we are looking at before last year where we are told we were at crisis and now in the new normal. So we are able to check all that and we are able to finance you. Then Kayaka, you had okay, Julius, can I use company bank statements? Yes. If you want to borrow under the company, you can use it. And even under mobile loans, we are also lending to companies and partnerships. And what you are doing, there is a form you are calling, if you're banking with us, agency form, visit the branch together with your partners or directors. You choose who will be the agent who can be able to borrow the mobile loan for the company. And you can be able to get that facility on mobile under that company. So the person who will be paying is that company or that partnership. So visit your account with us, visit any of our branches, let them give you the limit that you have and apply that through that agency form so that you can be able to get even your limits through the mobile. So for mobile loans in cooperative bank, it's not only for individuals, it's for everyone who is actively operating an account with us. And limits are determined with how you bank with us and how you pay existing facilities. That's what I had picked, Diana. Maybe I don't know whether there are other questions.
Yes, we do have additional questions. Sorry, Ndwati, you wanted to add something before I proceed to the question?
Okay. What?
Okay, I'll go ahead to read. I'll go ahead to read the questions.
Okay.
And, Margaret Mwambia says, can I get another restructure because we closed down again? My loan was restructured twice last year, and now we have closed again with the university closing. So Margaret Mwambia runs a student hostel. And then we have Wasike, who says, thank you so much. Wow, that's amazing information. I had no idea that I can be assisted by the bank with my business plan. I have a business plan which I would love to share with a bank personnel. Hopefully they would walk the journey with me. I am moved by this. I'm really appreciating these webinars. Thumbs up. Over to you, James. Thank you.
Asike, kindly share your contact so that we can engage you, even from our office here, for, so that we can be able to hold you. Margaret, we are here to support you. We understand the circumstance. Visit your branch, because already I know you have an officer, and explain your case, and they'll be able to support you. So already we are supporting. We understand the current circumstance. Some businesses have been closed again, so we'll work together with you.
We have another question. Okay, so this is Anne. Anne, who had asked the question on whether she can get a working capital loan for an agribusiness while servicing an asset finance. She's requesting that you kindly repeat the response. She had a technical hitch, an internet hitch, and she was not able to get your response to her question. So kindly, Ndwati, if you could repeat your response for Anne's.
And thank you. Yes, we can be able to give you a working capital while servicing an asset finance. In fact, we want that asset finance you have, that machinery, that motor vehicle, to be busy. So we want to give you, we are ready to give you working capital so that that asset you are having can have something to do in terms of maybe carrying the materials and all that, so that can be able to pay even the two facilities. So welcome. They can learn concurrently. You can have the working capital, you can have asset finance, you can have even the mobile facility running concurrently, as long as you have the ability.
Thank you very much, James. It seems that's it for today. That's it as far as the questions are concerned. Anne says, thank you so much. I will visit the branch.
Thank you.
Back to you, James.
Thank you, everyone. You cannot just take it for granted, taking time to join us, and we are ready to hold you. In terms of if you require support in all those areas that we have taken you through, kindly engage us through our branches. And those who have left their contacts here, I can see already Wasike has left his contact. We'll engage you so that in the new normal, we can continue being more competitive. So thank you very much. And karibuni sana. So Sarah, you can also have a comment as we close.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Mine is just to say thank you to our participants for coming on board, for engaging us, for asking questions and so on. And I saw that Lucy said that cash is king. And yes, indeed, we realize that cash is king, and there are all kinds of efforts to help us so that we can manage cash. And I really just want to say I wish you all the very best. Where there are challenges, let's talk. Talk to Cooperative Bank so that we can move forward. Thank you very much. And back to maybe the moderator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, James, and thank you to all our participants. We are now we are free to leave. We are done with today's session. Thank you very much, and do enjoy the rest of your day. The presentation will be shared with all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day. Bye.
Bye.